Hi, this is Elias with Canine Perspective. Today we are here with Luna doing her week 4 video here at Horner Park. We're going to go through all the commands here, what it would look like going through everything outside with the long leash here. Still on the long leash just to make sure there's no mistakes that happen and that we always have some physical way to make the command happen in case she's not following through, since this is our first time openly doing stuff at the park with her. So make sure that you have the long leash on when starting out while you're building that reliability and consistency. Again, just so that way you know that you always have control of her in case something happens, like an emergency situation or something's not clear with the e-collar with her. So starting out, what we're gonna do is go over recall. For recall, we're gonna let her roam around a little bit, see if we can get her distracted by certain things around the park, and then that's when we'll go for the recall command. We don't want to do the recall while she's paying attention to us, just because that's unrealistic. It's not really going to be a good repetition for practicing it. And we're not going to do it from any stationary commands either, because that's not a good habit as well, because it's going to make the stationary commands a little bit more unreliable, giving her that option of getting up out of them when we're not next to her. So we're going to do our best to get her focused on something else, and then we'll go for a recall command. We're not going to drill this one out too much. Maybe only 2 or 3 times, depending on how Luna is handling everything, just because we don't want her glued to our side every time we come to the park. So we need to make sure that we space it out accordingly, and that way we can get some good, consistent repetitions with her without her being too attached to us. So right now, always good Luna. I'm gonna see if I can get her up and walking, and we'll see if she is willing to kind of go explore a little bit. Let me see. Go on. Come this way. Good, so there, she's kind of roaming a little bit. That's what we're looking for. Good. So here I'm just waiting until she's not paying attention to me. Good. So she's over there kind of minding her own business. From here, we can kind of go ahead and give the recall command a try. So we're at 20. Luna, come, tap. There we go. And then we'll hold, same way as we've done it before. Good, and she sits down next to me. Good job. Break. Good, so that was a good one. Just an easy one from her, going, resting in the shade, enjoying herself. Good, so we'll see if she can run around a little bit. So here, Luna, come, tap. And then we'll give another tap for her to sit up. Good, good job. Break. See if we can get her distracted by anything over here. Maybe if she'll play with a stick or something. Go, Luna. Go. And again, if she's not too interested in doing anything else, it's not a huge deal. Like I said, we don't need to drill this one out too much. And then most likely once you start doing it, especially with how she kind of is, a little bit of nervousness, she's most likely going to want to stay by your side to avoid any of the pressure. So that's why we kind of space it out when we're practicing it, not too many times in one day. Do you think I should try and get another one in?
No, that's good.
Okay. So what we'll do now is move on to a little bit of walking with the heel command. And I think there's a dog park down there too. So what we could do is we'll go ahead and go onto the path here and start doing the heel command. And I'm gonna keep most of the slack of the long leash here just because other people are out here with their dogs and I don't want her to have too much room just in case, because you never know how other owners are gonna be as well. But this is also going to kind of give her the image of not seeing that leash in my left hand as well. So from here, we'll go ahead and start walking this way, and all of the commands should be looking the same. We're just outside, so more distractions, more things to kind of throw her off is what we'll be seeing. So again, we'll start at 20. You get the extra slack here. Good. And heel. Good. So again, since we don't have the image of the short leash in my hand here, this is good practice for her. If you're trying to get her to some off-leash reliability, she should be keeping the same position and all that as well. Good. And then correcting, again, is the same as we would do it with the long leash. So here I'm just going to turn and tap. Good. She got a little bit ahead of me there, so it's just a normal turn and tap. Look at that off the long leash there. Good. Here I'm gonna slow to a stop, see if she does the auto sit. Good. We'll go ahead and turn the other way because I think the dog park is over down that way. So start walking again. We don't need to say the word because we're still in the command. Good. Good left turn. No, I think that's just a small dog. So one thing to keep in mind is that when you're doing stuff in the park, there's probably going to be, other people, other dogs. Sometimes they might be off leash. So just do your best to kind of pay attention. Even if Luna is doing really well, you never know what's going to happen with somebody else's dog. So it's good to, here I'm going to turn and tap. She's not paying attention. Good. It's just a good rule of thumb to keep an eye out as to what other people's dogs are doing, what other people are doing, because sometimes their dogs may not be trained, and even if Luna is trained, they could come over and cause trouble. So just something to keep in mind. Good. Good. Doing really well so far. And when you're practicing with her, you don't have to have her kind of structured the whole time. I would just break it up to where maybe you're working on heel for a little bit, you give her some play time, and then you can go back to heel to kind of finish it out. Good. Doing good, not really caring about other dogs or people. That's good to see.
Is she ready? They ready? Can't take this thing.
Good. So one thing we can do up here is practicing. We'll use this bench to practice the down command. What we could do. Good. She goes into her auto sit. Down. Good. And then when you're doing this, what you want to do is you can go ahead, have your foot on the long leash here, and then that way you don't have to worry about her getting too much slack to go off in another direction if a dog or a person or a squirrel walks by, anything like that. And then you are able to correct pretty immediately and consistently because she's not going to have anywhere else to go. You already have that downward leash pressure if you need it. And it's just a good way for her to both chill out and then work on the self-control of just staying there, doing nothing, and just kind of accepting whatever's going on around her. And then you can also have a second to chill out. It's a good way to work on the down command and to take a break during the walk. You could do it with other commands too. It's easiest with the down command because it's kind of the easiest command for her to rest with. But this is a common way that owners usually like to do this. And as you can see, she did that really well. She's not having any problems with this. And she could probably chill out here for however long you need to. And then whenever you're ready, you can get back up, go into the heel command, do whatever you're gonna do. But if you notice a bench, this can be an easy way to work on the down command. So same thing for the sit and the stay command as well. If you wanted to do that, you just issue that command, do it the same way here where you can step on the leash just to make sure that you always have that immediate control of her to be able to make whatever you need to make happen to avoid any situations of her running into any dogs or other people. And just an easy, straightforward way to work on those things at the park. So here, we can go ahead and get back up. So I'm gonna tap. See what she does, tap. Tap. We'll pull her over here, tap. Tap. Here, I'll give a little bit of leash pressure down, tap. Good. 20. Okay. Good. So there, since I got up, she kind of assumed we're just gonna start walking again, which we are, but we wanna make sure that we're staying consistent with the commands. So then as I was tapping her, she was getting a little bit confused, trying other things, and then I added a little bit of downward leash pressure to make it more clear to her. She needs to just go back into the down command. So from here, we're at 15 now, and we'll go ahead, tap, 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 good.
We can. Is that again, sit down, stand up?
Yeah, tap. Good. So then here, go ahead, keep my foot on the leash. We'll sit down. She's doing her thing. Then I get up. Good. I approach, she should stay there. Heel. Good. So again, even though it's a minor thing and we are gonna start walking anyways, want to make sure we stay consistent with all of it so she's not really cutting corners and having that room to be able to make these mistakes where the commands aren't as reliable as we need them. So if you notice her making a mistake with something, oh my God. Do your best to work her through it. There. Do your best to work her through it and to try and recreate that scenario so that way you know that she's going to understand that even in those weird situations where she makes a mistake like that, you are able to work through it, have her have a better understanding of the command as a whole, and know that she's going to follow through with the commands even in all these different scenarios that you might not necessarily think of right away. So we're still in heel, so we start walking, good. Yeah, it looks like it goes to the street. We could probably just turn around because I want to go by the street over there. Good job, Luna. Go for a turn here. Here I'm going to turn, tap. Good. Turn, tap.
Turn again.
Turn, tap, tap. Tap, tap. Good. Back to 20. Turn, tap,
But you
tap.
turn first. Turn again.
Tap, tap,
Keep looking forward.
tap. Good. So right there, she was going around in the grass, so getting a little bit distracted. And we just tapped her through it, gave her my left side, so that way she can kind of get back in her standard heel positioning, and then she was good. Good. So we can go over here. And let's see. Good. And what we'll do is we'll try the stay command over here. Good. Stay. So still making sure that I'm having the appropriate amount of slack on the long leash here. Good. She's holding the command well. And one way you can kind of make this more challenging for her is if she's interested in any toys or anything like that, you can have them, throw them around her, see how well she's going to hold the command. And then for correcting, it would just be the same as we would inside, where you're just guiding her back to the same spot, tapping on the e-collar until she's back where she is and in the sitting position, because that's how we told her to stay. If she was laying down and we told her to stay, then we'd want to return her to the down position. Good. And then as I approach, she should still stay there. Good. Heel. Nice. Good. Good job.